All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Common Rule Podcast, and I am your humble narrator. My name is Danny, and today I'm bringing you Well, I wanted to make it live. I've been working on live streaming my videos on the YouTubes, and I'm working through some technical difficulties, but slowly but surely I am getting a hold of it. And the day I recorded this podcast with Proph, I recorded a second one as well with Gabriel. That one I ended up finally getting correct. Unfortunately, I used Proph as my guinea pig for this new thing that I'm trying out. And I've been trying out, and I keep fixing one thing, and then another thing breaks, and then I fix that thing, and then another thing breaks. But hopefully, I should be able to bring the podcast's live streaming via the YouTubes. I'm not sure if I'm going to venture into too many other avenues with that, but as far as that, I'm definitely not going to Facebook. I can't remember. There's another streaming platform that I guess I could have done it, but I don't think I can do it on Twitter or anything like that. But YouTube is going to be the platform, and the idea is to eventually have it so that if we have a guest on, that people can actually call in like a real radio program and in real time speak to the guest, ask any questions, any comments, any concerns. And this was really stemming off of the idea that I have for the Sick Ass Fool podcast that I also record and am a part of. You guys should check that out if you guys like fucking unscripted debauchery. And I got to thinking that, we should have people call in. But I decided to go ahead and see if that same little radio fucking show format would apply to something like this. And I think it should. I just need to really set a time to when this happens, I think, so that it's not so random. But at the moment, I'm not that kind of podcast, or, I don't have that kind of pull to where like I can get people in like a morning show or anything like that. So it's all has to be done whenever there's availability on myself and, of course, on the guests that we're having. Hopefully we give plenty of heads up to you guys if you guys are really interested in catching the podcast live and want to chime in with any questions or comments live. That is definitely something that I'm working towards, and I'm pretty much there, I think. A couple more podcasts and I'll get this fucking thing figured out. All right. Well, today's conversation, as I mentioned, with his Proph, hip-hop artist here in Phoenix, Arizona. And we get into talking to some real stuff. Again, I haven't studied up on the hip-hop industry or the hip-hop community here in Phoenix. But after talking to Proph, it's definitely something that I need to start looking into. Whether or not anyone would be interested in hip-hop or anything like that, there is so much we can learn as far as the creative aspect of it and the collaboration or collaborative aspect of it as well, because so many people come together to make this happen. And my love of hip hop has always been that there's always been a way, even if you do it lo-fi, it seems that hip hop artists have always found a way to get their music out in one way, shape, or form. You guys, I know a bunch of you guys have run into that cat, in Arizona, anywhere. But in Vegas or on a street corner in LA, even San Diego, hey man, here's my mixtape, $5 for my mixtape. And this, everybody's got a goddamn mixtape. When fuck, I want a mixtape too. But yeah, I've definitely always appreciated the fact that hip hop artists have always been on the cutting edge of getting shit out there, getting their art out there by any means necessary. And, we have a hip-hop artist here today who talks about all that good stuff. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the conversation with Proph. All right, man. So how you been?
Man, I've been good. Busy. And you?
Good. Pretty good. Man, I've been looking all at your Instagram for a bit. You just, not just, but you released a video.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Yeah, on Friday, actually, just a few days ago. It's called A Million. That's my latest single featuring two artists, Prince and K. Marie. And super, super happy that the visual's finally out and everything's been getting a really good response, a really great reaction. And, I definitely feel like it's a really, really good record for everybody to hear, vibe with. And the visual just definitely complements it like 100%. So
Nice. Now you are going to have to school me a little bit about local hip hop. I haven't been putting enough time into that. I know we have a scene here.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't even know really how big it is, or how that comes about here. How long have you been in the scene here?
I've been doing music since 2009 now, for 10 years now. And it's real big. It's growing. Definitely when I started, it wasn't as big as it is now. But I guess the convenience in just making music now, and the feasibility as far as like everybody being able to do it just off a computer or even a phone now, it gives a lot of people, a lot more opportunity to, present their craft and everything. So as of 2020, the Arizona local hip hop scene is very, very big. It is, it's nice. It's very diverse. There's a lot of competition, and it's just like you would, quote unquote, compare it to the actual hip hop scene. It's just like that. You have your really big time stars per se, to where they get a lot of radio play, they get a lot of good feedback, a lot of numbers as far as views and everything are very high. And then you have your just your local acts that just have that homegrown fan base that a lot of people are dedicated to them. They have their own little movement, their own brand, and it's really cool to see, because again, I've been doing it for so long now that you get to see like all the different artists from like all over, just Arizona in general. I was at the AZ Hip Hop Festival that just went about, and it was really cool to see, because there were so many people from like all different parts of the city. I seen a rapper from Miami, Arizona. I seen a rapper from Globe. Tucson obviously has their own hip hop scene, so they definitely made their way out here too. And then, you see some up north ones from like Sedona, Flagstaff. So it's definitely cool to see that it's expanding all the way out there. And, I just can't wait for Arizona to actually be on the face of hip hop as far as the map per se, because, right now, I guess you could say we're an overlooked state. We have a few artists that are very, very big as far as up there, but as far as putting us on the map for hip hop yet, I don't think we're I don't think we're considered a state that has that one hip hop artist yet. So that's the goal.
Yeah, but you've been around for so long here. You don't really are you? You're not saying like, oh man, I wish this was New York, or I wish this was LA. It seems like right now you guys are growing where you're very comfortable saying, no, I'm from Phoenix. Or is there any sort of like, let's go out and make it somewhere else?
Well, the goal definitely is to go out. There's artists that right now that are very big within the city, but they go to LA, they go to New York, they go to Atlanta, they go to those hip hop cities. So it's definitely a necessity. But at the same time, you could definitely do everything within your home state. You don't necessarily have to go out as it was like 10 years ago. So, it's a personal choice within the artist. I definitely want to go out to LA to work, as well as New York. That's always been a dream of mine, especially in the hip hop industry, because it's just so historic in both those cities. So, that shouldn't sway no artist as far as, making them either want to stay within, the city, Arizona, or the city or state, or if they want to expand. You could do either or, it's all personal choice now, but, the opportunity is there now. It's a lot easier now. So, I just like seeing artists take advantage of it.
Hell yeah. What I love that you touched on, it just seems like hip hop always found a way to make music, whether they were at home, just with a sampler back in the day, just trying to do just basic beats and shit like that, to where now it's definitely more better. It's definitely better or easier, like you were saying, to make music. And everybody was making their mixtapes back in the day and sitting and handing them out, but technology has been a major factor in being able to guys make music. Well, not just you guys, everybody's making music, but it seems like it's always hip hop people or the hip hop group that take the most advantage out of that. most of the stuff that you guys do is, but I do see though too that you got a lot of collaboration here in town.
Oh yeah.
Is the community really tight knit here? No one's has any problem with anyone else, like, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess you could say it's like any typical hip hop scene. You know, you're gonna have people that just don't clash either. Yeah, as far as ego, as far as you know, whatever it may be, stature. I don't really know. I personally like to show love to anybody that's, you know, trying to do, you know, the same thing that I'm trying to do, which is a very, very hard craft to do first and foremost. So, you know, I don't, you know, I don't feel like, you know, I have any type of, you know, quarrels or anything as far as with other artists and everything. But, you know, you see that and everything, or you see, you know, different people's preferences and everything that just, you know, don't co-align. So, you know, therefore they're not going to work with each other and everything. And I personally have gone through the same thing to where, you know, there's particular shows I'm not going to book, or there's particular venues, or, you know, I haven't came about an artist yet, but as far as, you know, working with a lot of artists, I haven't, you know, started doing that until this past year. So, but, you know, I haven't came really across the artist to where, you know what, I'm not going to work with them ever again. You know, everybody is all for the same goal. So it's really, really cool because, you know, you have all the different communities. And again, a lot of these groups now are, you know, they're creating brands for themselves. So that's even better because, you know, it solidifies their unity, and, you know, it really shows as far as, you know, within videos, within the music, and with a lot of pictures being posted and everything, that, you know, those groups exist, and, you know, they're all for a common cause. So I think the hazy hip hop scene is united within a sense, but, you know, it's like any typical hip hop scene, period. You know, you just have your egos, you have who's better, who's not, you know, all that typical stuff. So yeah, you know, but I love it. I love seeing the competition, the competitive nature out of everybody. And I just love seeing everybody's art because, you know, everybody does everything different. So, you know, just to see it and everything is beautiful always, because again, I'm always going to show love and I'm always going to be motivated off of it. So I'd rather see diversity than, you know, just the same thing over and over. So
I think that especially like if you were trying to establish like a place like Phoenix, of all places, the closer everyone gets together and works together, I think it'll help everyone kind of explode somewhere along the line. Just help somebody.
Most definitely.
Now, you touched a little bit on, you just mentioned venues. Are there some venues that are more accepting to hip hop than others? Is there still kind of like a, well, I don't even know if there was, but I suspect that there are probably some venues that go, nah, we don't want nothing to do with hip hop.
Right.
Versus some ones that are like, dude, bring anybody and everybody in. Is there?
It's growing now to where, because I guess just because of, you know, you just put it down in the business matter, the supply and demand of it now is a lot more bigger. Okay. So to where there's a lot more artists and a lot more people wanting shows, to where a lot of venues that were definitely not, you know, accepting of the hip hop community are now, you know, hey, come on over, you know. But as far as them coming together, as far as, you know, for I guess in an artist perspective, it's more so, you know, the stage format, the sound is always important, and just how the venue itself handles itself during a very busy time and a very hectic time, because, you know, you have so many people coming, you have so many artists that you're having to work with and everything, and, you know, just consolidating all of that in a right timely manner and everything is very, very hard, which I do give it, you know, much empathy, but at the same time, you know, me being an artist, I have, you know, high expectations on any venue that I perform at, to where it's going to be to my likings, you know, to where I definitely like, you know, to go, you know, study it per se, or just see it and everything to know what I'm getting into before I agree to it. Because, you know, within my time, I've learned my lessons as far as, you know, my changing room was the men's restroom, you know, not a changing room, you know, so, you know, there's just certain things that, you know, every artist has to learn, to where they're, you know, they figure out, you know, why every artist expects what they expect. So
which ones are the venues that stick out the most as far as possibly being most accommodating to hip hop artists?
Well, right now, the press room is like really, really, they had the hip hop festival there. And they've actually been having a lot of local, not even local. They've had a lot of big acts there too. So as far as just, you know, being very hip hop trendy and everything and sound, it's a really, really good venue. The Van Buren also, they're really, really good as well. And then you know, Comerica, the other bigger ones too, but I think Van Buren and the Press Room have really accepted the local community a lot more, to where we're able to do a lot more shows there, and it's presented in a lot bigger platform, especially for our fans, to where they were already used to us going to these little shows or having these shows at these venues that were very small, in front of 15 people and everything, which every artist has to go through, because if you're not going through that, you're just not really you're not really doing it, so because you got to start there. So if you do a show at the Van Buren or at the Press Room, then it's just when your fans go there, they see that really big stage, they see that professional sound, those lights, and just the atmosphere within the South is like, this is a very real big venue, and it's some people here, you're on a higher platform, and it just looks really, really good for the artists, so I really like those venues the most.
Nice. And when you play these venues, is it an only hip hop only night, or do you sometimes open for some other type of music, like I don't know, like rock and roll or indie or something, or heavy metal, or is it just always just like all hip hop?
Mostly everything I've been involved with has only been hip hop.
Okay.
I haven't really been to like an actual I don't know, like a festival or anything to where there's different type of genres of music. So no, I've been solely invested in just the hip hop community part. So yeah, mostly everywhere I go. I've gone actually to a couple places where they have like a R&B night, hip hop. So we see a lot of cool R&B singers and everything too. So been in a couple of those, but I'm mainly hip hop.
Mainly hip hop. Well, that's pretty good though. I think because and you guys always get a good crowd on these, good people reception, good show up and stuff like that.
Well, it all depends. It all depends on how you market it and everything. I know. I don't want to I don't even want to say I draw big crowds or anything, but I definitely could fill the room. So that's what I'm confident in any show that I do. So. And then just the reception as far as like where you do your shows and everything. I've done a couple shows downtown. There's a lot of curious people. Downtown has grown so much within the past years to where there's just a good majority, a lot of people there already, just searching the venues, seeing what's going on. So, I've definitely been able to perform in a lot of big crowds and everything, but, it all ranges just as far as venue size and everything, and what the artist really wants to do as far as a show. I've seen artists do shows now at houses, which is really cool because just the intimacy within them doing it is really awesome. I think personally, because I'm all about showmanship. So if you could perform in front of a crowd where you're looking at them eye to eye and you're standing at them, eye level. It's a lot more intimate. I think you could feel their energy a lot more than, as opposed to standing on them, looking over their heads and, trying to remember your lyrics, because it's definitely a rush as far as just performing, but, doing it at a much more intimate level, I think gives that, that listener that experience that, makes it much more memorable than, as opposed to looking, 20 feet away, and you're up above. So it all varies. It's all on preference and everything. I've been focused for this year to plan a lot more intimate shows. So this way I can get that feeling. And then as well as, getting some big shows as well. But I want to stick to the intimacy and everything just so I can just build my fan base a lot more organically. And, a lot of people doubt the power of word of mouth still. So I definitely want to execute that and, just handshakes and everything, meet and greet, and just talk to people so where I make that impression to where they're going to talk of me instead of talk about me. So
I love that. So are you more or less happy as far as where Phoenix is going on the trajectory as far as accepting hip hop and helping hip hop grow, or is there anything that you would like to see, like as a community, Phoenix change up a little bit in order to help everyone grow artistically and hopefully, commercially as well?
Yeah, no, I think I see everything. I think the past year was a big battle as far as the local and the radio scene. We definitely I know a couple entities called out the radio stations as far as just not supporting local hip hop at all, to where there's just a lot of other cities and everything to where the radio stations are just playing local hip hop all the time because they believe in their local scene as much as the big scene as well. So But that's definitely changed within 2019. I've seen like complete 180 as far as the radio support and just a lot of people getting their chance to get played on the radio. So I definitely see it growing. It could be a lot quicker. It could be a lot more. I don't want to. I don't know how to say it. I guess swayed as far as like who gets on the radio and who not, because it's definitely it's business and it's the show business, so it's always not what you know, it's who you know. So there are definitely a lot of artists. Now, I don't want to say a lot of artists, but there's some artists that get the radio time or get the interviews or anything only because of who they knew, which just nothing against them, because they put they either knew somebody that put them in the position or just themselves put them in that position. So so it works out like that. So I don't see, I can't critique it or I can't call out anything to where this is what we need. I just see it growing. Very exponentially fast this year, especially just as far as how many artists that we have out here and how many videographers that we have out here, and just how much shows are going to be coming out and everything. And I think it's just going to be really good. I think this year is definitely going to be a very exponential growth as far as the Phoenix community just realizing that there is a hip hop community. And just trying to put down a bigger platform for us.
You just gave me an idea too, and if you like it, dude, toss it or keep it. If you don't, toss it back. I'm thinking all of a sudden, obviously we're doing a podcast, but I don't know if there is or if there isn't. Like basically a podcast is a radio show now. And if there was a way to make just a hip hop exclusive Phoenix only podcast, I think I would definitely help you guys and jump on board. And I think I would love to do that. Yeah. And then this way, not only is the interview happening, but it'd be like a real radio show. We can actually play the music online and have definitely. It and do a live stream, which fucking unfortunately right now I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's not the thing took a shit again. Be able to live stream it too and play the music on the air and shit like that. So I don't know if that's something that's that might have traction and do it, dude. Let me know. We'll fucking set that shit up for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I know there is a few there's a few podcasts already out right now. I haven't really looked into it. You're my first podcast, I'm super excited just to dive into it, because podcasting has definitely been something that has grown the past few years as far as just popularity, demand, and just everybody doing it. So from the real big podcast to where there's just a podcast I think now out there for everything. As far as anything you're going through to anything you're pursuing to anything that you just want to hear about, period, as far as praising to just being motivated or gossip or politics, sports, whatever. And I love it because it gives a lot of people their platform to where they could say what they need to say. And I just feel like in America, period, a lot of people don't speak up, and then it's only because they're scared of perception, they're scared of opinion, and I guess just what everyone thinks. So for those people that sum up the courage to create all these podcasts that are getting created now, it's really awesome, because there are so many podcasts now that are getting listened to, and just people that obviously don't well, I don't want to say don't or scared to speak on it. They're just they relate to it. They listen, they listen intently, because it's exactly what they're thinking as well, and what they want to say. But because someone else is saying it, it's like, man, at least I know someone else is going through it as well. So I'm definitely interested in creating a podcast for myself, hip hop oriented. I definitely think would be ideal. I'm probably gonna go much more broader than that, and talk about typical guy stuff and all that good stuff and everything. But yeah, man, I definitely want to look into podcasting more, because it's not even because it's a new trend, but because it's something that's it's a new platform that's rising and giving a lot of people voice. So
Yeah, I think I should have asked you to bring some tracks. We'll probably end up playing, but next time for sure, I was set up to where, because I figured out how to do shit right off the phone and feed it into the podcast.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, I'm like legit set up now for all that jazz. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hell yeah. Do you remember, just going back a little bit on this, do you remember like the first track that you heard hip hop that you went, yeah, that's what I want to do. That's fucking,
man.
yeah.
There's two instances where I think back to where like my love for hip hop was like really, really created. My first one was like, I was real young. I want to say like 4 or 5, and Lauryn Hill came on the Fugees.
Yeah.
And I just remember me and my mother singing along to the radio while she was in the kitchen making dinner, and like just really, really like feeling the song because how she sang it to me, and then just like really feeling the music as well. Like, dang, like, you know, this is moving me, and more than just like, you know, the beat and the melody and all that stuff. But then I think it wasn't until when I was when just Eminem came out, and when he came out and started making music was like really when I was like, man, I at that time it was, I wish I could do that. You know, I wish I could speak on what I want to speak on, because this man is like speaking his bare truth. And, you know, I related to a very bare minimum of what, you know, he was obviously going through, but it was relatable in a sense to where, you know, everybody in America was able to relate to something that man was saying. So just to see his impact and just to see and to feel it as well was like, you know, definitely gave me I guess a type of idea, and to where, you know,
yeah,
I definitely, because I was always told, you know, that I was a character.
Mm-hmm.
So and I was never scared to speak up. Like once I figured out I had a voice,
yeah,
once I figured out that adults could hear me,
yeah,
like it was over. It was like,
yeah, hell yeah,
you're gonna hear me now.
Okay.
So you know, I've always wanted to be heard. So you know, what better way than to make music?
One of the common threads that I do on this podcast is getting people to finally go and jump in and get it done, and just finally go bam. At one point, did you go, hey, fuck this? Not only do I have my bars written down, but I need to record it. Do you remember when you finally just took the jump and go, you know what? I need to fucking lay this down.
Yeah, yeah.
And what happened?
Well, I was always in the, I love school. School is my first passion. So I was in ASU actually. I was going to ASU, and it was during that time I was driving to ASU to where one of my best friend actually told me, you know, he would rap all the time in the car, just driving, just rap along to the beat and everything. And then one day he was just like, you rap. And I was just like so taken back from it, because I was like, what? And like, nah, I don't do that. I don't do that. He's like, nah, it's easy, man. Come on, you know you could do it. Just rhyme some words. And he started making me do it. And then I did it, took the plunge, and then just started to just keep doing it with him, back and forth. And then at ASU, it's a really, really big world within just, you know, ASU itself, you know. So there was a lot of culture out there. There was a lot of stuff that I seen that I, you know, never thought I would see. One of them was hip hop battles. Saw a lot of hip hop battles, so used to watch them.
Oh wow!
Used to watch them all the time, and then finally, just said, you know what, I'm gonna jump in this hip hop battle real quick. So I think I could do it, and jumped in. And my thing at the time was, you know, I used to ask the crowd, you know, hey, give me a word. And anybody, give me a word, but I need like a 3-syllable word. Like, don't give me this 2-syllable shit. Like, give me something, you know what I mean? Give me, you know, and they give me a big old word. You know, we in college, so I get a big word, and so I get a big word, and I start rapping off of it, and, you know, obviously break down the word to, you know, let people know that I knew what the hell I was talking about, and at the same time pointed at the person that I was battling and use it to my advantage, and, you know. My big thing always was to just, you know, really show off the skill that I'm freestyling to, that I'm actually doing this right now. Like, this is not even like I wrote this and I rehearsed this for so long in the mirror and all right, I'm gonna battle you. Nah, it wasn't like, it was like, girl in the purple dress, this ain't like, you know what I mean? Like, I needed her to know, because right now I saw that she was looking at me like, like, you ain't impressing me, so I'm gonna get your attention. So kept doing that repeatedly, and then finally had somebody just tell me like, yeah, you should make a song, man. Like, you don't make songs? And I'm like, nah, man, just battle. And so that idea was planted, and then luckily I met another good friend that used to go back after school, and we used to just battle each other just to practice. And then he actually knew a DJ that was like that recorded music and was like, hey, I got this. He actually he went to high school with us. You may not know him, but he's a DJ, and he records music. And he showed up with a $30 Radio Shack mic, little laptop, and so I don't even know the recording program that he had, but we just sat down on the couch in the back of my house and just recorded my first song. Just took it, and at that time, because I was so good at freestyling, I'm like, I don't need to write. And then Lil Wayne still is my all-time favorite artist. So like, Lil Wayne, he never wrote his music either. So I was like, I ain't writing nothing. Like, drop the beat. Yeah. And like, I promise you right now, you'll never hear one of those records ever, because I'm not showing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
But I definitely gave them out. I was proud of them. I gave them out. I was like, I made a mixtape a month, because I was so enthused. I was so like, hell yeah, this is what I'm doing. And I had a lot of family, a lot of friends. I didn't understand at the time, but now I do. As far as like them just looking at me like you're going to ASU, and like you got a future ahead of you, and you want to rap, because it was definitely at that start of the era to where everybody wanted to be a rapper, Okay. So it was definitely a shocker for my family, especially because I was very prideful and just exclaiming to them that I go to college. Like, what are you talking about? I was very proud of that. So then to say I don't want to go to college no more, I want to start pursuing rap, that was a curveball. Like, it was hard. It took me 2 years. It took me 2 years to actually sum up the courage to finally tell my mom and my dad, like, what, I think I'm not going to go to school no more. I don't want to hinder or mess up my my school record, first of all, and there's just no point if my passion is not in it, because I couldn't believe that I was waking up and I was like, I don't want to go to school, I want to make music, I just want to make music. So it just took me over, and I had a director that told me, like, I sat with her and I told her my concern at the time, and she just asked me the most legitimate question ever, and she's like, where's school going? Where's ASU gonna go? And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, where is school going? Like, you stop going to school right now. Where's school going after that? Like, you can't come back? And just a light bulb hit me, and I was like, wow, I didn't think about that. She goes, you're not in math class right now with some 50-year-olds? So what, you can't, like, try your dream? If it doesn't work, come back to school? You can't do that? No, what, you stop going to school and that's it? And I was like, damn, like, why are you telling me this? Like, you should be telling me stay in school. But she just kept it real, because she saw the passion, and she saw what I had. I was definitely really good off in ASU. I was doing very well. It had nothing to do with that. It was just, she had legitimate conversations with me and found out my passion and dug it out of me. You know what I mean? To where that one question that everybody has to answer, as far as, what do you want to do in life? When you gotta, you can have an answer, like, from kindergarten through high school. You can have, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be whatever, but when you actually go to not just ASU, just college in general, like that question is like, needs to be answered now, because, you need to figure it out. You need to focus all your energy on what you really want to do in life. And that was hard. That was hard to figure out. But once I did, it was like the best feeling and the best choice I ever made. Hardest choice, definitely still to this day. But I can't explain the feeling that I get off making music. I can only do it within making a song. Yeah,
and when you dive into it, though, you get so much better at it. Like you said, you're not handing out the first record you made, but the records that you're making now,
right,
are exponentially. So much better.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's a difference where you have that creative output that is free. Not too many people understand that it's okay to spend a lot of time being creative,
right,
on that. And you're exactly the point. You're a perfect example about how you weren't fucking shitty in school. You were doing well in school, to the point where, like, let's hit pause on it for a little bit, because I'm also really good at this.
Right.
Maybe not as good as I want to be, but I know I can get better.
Yeah.
Now, the support system that you had in your family, was it all supportive, or was there a lot of criticism?
Man,
or
it was, well, I mean, for the most important people, which are my mom and my dad, like they were all for it. You know,
nice.
They believe in me. They believe in me, and they knew that, you know, when I sat down with them and I really was very serious as far as having the conversation, saying I'm not going to go to school no more. Like, you know, they knew like this was really what I wanted to do. And so they were all for it, and that was all really I needed, you know. But at the same time, it came a lot of, because I was like a first generation college student, so you know, just to put that on hold was just, to my older generation family, it was just not understandable, you know, to pursue, especially to pursue this type of dream. It didn't, you know, and they couldn't wrap their head around it. So definitely felt the energy, and just noticed the change as far as, you know, people interested in how you're really doing, you know, like when you go see family and everything, and, you know, but, you know, at the same time, most of my family just are all love, period. So they just gave me love, and they, you know, at the time, because now I understand, you know, the music wasn't really good. Like the music wasn't at a point to where they could take me serious. So I personally can't blame them for feeling however they felt at that time. I mean, because it's like, again, you know, you were a college bound student, and now you're making this type of music that is not even that good. Like, you know, like, let's keep it real. Like, you're not going to get famous off of these songs. Yeah. Why are you doing this? Didn't get it at the time because I thought those records were going to do something, but I didn't understand the basics, fundamentals, and, you know, just the whole logistics of music. You know, I was just diving into it saying I could do it. And because of the possibility was there, I was doing it the easiest way possible. And, you know, but because I was so avid and just, you know, being a student, I had to learn it. So I started to learn it. I started to teach myself. I started to really, really look into interviews, look into, all the YouTube videos I could find as far as my favorite artists being in the studio, and just, you know, just different strategies as far as how they wrote, and, you know, just listening to music. And I thought I really had a diverse ear, and it wasn't until I met my fiance that, you know, I found out that I didn't. I was just solely listening to hip hop music, and, you know, she's definitely opened my ears to a lot of different type of genre of music, to where I'm able to appreciate the lyrics instead of just judge it off of the genre that it is, you know? So, it's really cool, because now I'm at the point to where, like, my music can move, it can make people cry, and it definitely gets repeated because I get paid off my music now, you know? Nice. I have my music on major platforms and everything. Hell yeah. I'm able to accumulate funds, not funds that where I'm able to support my family completely, which is why I have an actual job, but I'm able to make music. I'm able to make money off my music, and that is something that I love to show my sons, and I'm going to continue to show them that, you know, any dream you have, you know, it doesn't matter. You can get paid for it, and it's not because of the money or for the money, but, you know, you can do something that you love in life and get paid for it. There's nothing that's going to hold you back. At the very least, you're showing that there's people out there outside your circle that appreciate what you're doing. Right. And it's like, it's legit. Yeah. What does everybody think about what you're doing now? Oh man, it's a complete 180 again. Yeah. It's like it's almost like I started going to school again, in a sense, because I'm getting my congratulations and my just not bad critiques, but just critiques as far as, because they're very interested in my future now, as opposed to just like I gave up my future. You know what I mean? So it's definitely been a big turn, just because of, you know, the consistency in myself, as far as just continuing to just provide projects and music and videos out for everybody, and then, you know, just also grow with it, you know. So I'm very proud of it, because everybody really, really takes that very, very seriously now, and they can feel it. They can feel the urgency that I have as far as how important. I don't want to even say that, you know, this year is to sound, you know, typical, but, you know, just how important that, you know, every year is. Yeah. And, you know, how I have to, you know, take advantage of every opportunity that I get. So. Now, you said you started off more or less freestyling. Yeah. What do you remember the first song you actually sat down and penned and wrote and gave it structure? Yeah. Wow. That was definitely, I want to say it was like the third install. It was like the third month of my first year in rap, to where I was able to actually my best friend, that the one that encouraged me to start freestyling, or with him in the car, he actually bought me a journal, well, just a journal book for my birthday, which, you know, I could write my raps in. So I started writing volume 3. It was called Phoenix Under Fire Volume 3 at the time. I started writing that one. There was a couple songs in there. I can't think of the titles right now. And I know there were some songs in there that, you know, my real day one fans, you know, they can bring up to me, like, when I see them, as far as, like, man, it ain't nothing like this song. And it's like, oh wow, like, damn, I haven't heard about that song in so long, you know. So, but yeah, I started writing, and intently writing, and that's, you know, I don't want to say that's solely what I do, but I definitely rely on my pen and my pad, just, you know, just because I believe in the structure of the song now, and you know, how it should flow and all that stuff, concept, and, you know, all that good stuff. So
go ahead. Coming from the freestyle background, because there's groups of rappers out there that are very good at freestyle, and then they can't really transition as well. And of course, there's always the ones that write songs very well that they can't freestyle worth a shit. Yeah, you being able to at least started off in freestyle, doing one. Was it a difficult transition to start writing songs? And did you at first, when you weighed them both, did you go, okay, no, I'm still a better freestyler than I am a writer? And now, do you see yourself as a better writer than a freestyler?
Yeah, that's a good question. It wasn't a hard transition. I think what really got me into just music, period, was poetry. And I discovered poetry before I really discovered my love for rap. So I was fortunate for that. So the transition was really easy, because I understood from the jump that, you know, everything I was freestyling was metaphoric. But then, you know, I was much more enticed to write it when I knew I had to write out the metaphors or similes or the onomatopoeias, or, you know, whatever type of poem structure I was trying to write. And then it got to the point to where I realized that, you know, poetry and music are alike, but they are very, very different at the same time. So, you know, I had to learn how to, you know, figure out cadences and figure out melodies and figure out, you know, that type of stuff. So, you know, it wasn't a hard transition at all. And honestly, I don't like to freestyle, like, you know, for people, like, my one of my biggest pet peeves as an artist is always people, you know, oh, you rap, let me hear you freestyle, when I think it was like in my 5th year of rap, when I used to just bluntly tell people, well, what do you do for a living? And they used to be like, oh, well, I do construction. Okay, let me see you build something. And I look at them with an attitude and be like, dude, this is what I do for a living. Like, this is not something that I just do for fun. So don't ask me to freestyle for you like I'm a fucking clown, because this is not a circus. You know what I mean? This is what I really do. And I could play a song for you. You know, I could play a song that, you know, sounds really good. You know what I mean? But because at the time it was like, you know, people wanted to just joke, like, if you can't freestyle, then you can't rap. But it's like, no, dude, like, get your head out your ass. Like, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. So, honestly, freestyling for me has to come in the moment. I have this one cousin of mine. He's like my personal security. His name is B-Lo. When I'm with him, he likes to freestyle all the time, and he only does it because he knows that eventually he's gonna poke at me enough to where I'm gonna start just yo, and I'm gonna start freestyling with him, you know. So you know, it has to be in the moment. If I'm in the studio with my crew, then you know, we definitely gonna freestyle back and forth. We might even make a song off of it. You know, it's all the environment and everything. You know, I don't want to say I can't do it on the spot, but I prefer not to do it on the spot unless I feel like, you know, I mean, I'm at a hip hop circle and I'm at a hip hop festival and there's music playing and, you know, there's just all this environment to where, you know, that's what's expected. And you know, I'm going to give you some shit, but nah, don't barely meet me for the first time and ask me to freestyle for you, because I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell you now. I'm at the time to where I'm just going to tell you, like, nah, I'm good. You know, you could hear me on, like, what do you listen to music on? And, you know, oh, I listen to music on Apple Music. Okay, well, I'm on Apple Music. Search me up. Download my music. Thank you very much, you know. So, you know, it feels good to say that and everything, because it definitely makes a big impression. There's so many people that, you know, that don't know about the music industry enough to where they can, they can safely assume, you know, that you're not able to be on iTunes. So I remember meeting somebody for the first time, and, you know, they didn't ask me that question, but I asked them, you know, hey, you know, I got a new song out, you know, you want to play it? And he's like, oh, well, I only listen to music on Apple Music.
Guess what?
Oh, okay, well, you know, I'm on Apple Music. And he's like, nah, but this is Apple Music, like, where all the artists, you know, have... And I'm just looking at him like, dude, like, what, you didn't hear me? Like, you know, so I was like, well, let me see your phone. And I searched my song, brought it up, and he's like, how'd you do that? Mm-hmm. And I was just like, well, and fortunately, I was able to scroll all the way down to where it says, you know, you see where it says Crew Records right there? Like, that's my record label, man. That's my independent record label. Like, you know, I drop music under that. And he was just like, man, I'm gonna play, you know, and definitely made that big impression. So,
yeah,
you know, I'm able to do that. And then at the same time, I'm able to give that accessibility to my music as well, you know. So
I love that.
Yeah, it feels good.
What do you who makes your beats? Do you make your beats? Do you work with somebody?
I have a few producers. I wish I could make beats, but honestly, I'm just not passionate within it, like to where I could sit next to a producer, or I could even be in front of some stuff to make some beats and everything. I mean, I'm not gonna be like I haven't, you know, dipped into trying it, 'cause I definitely have.
Yeah.
But as far as like, because there's just so much within it of making a beat, like, you know, just so much you could do and just the possibility. I'd rather just get a beat, because my whole thing from the beginning was people would always ask me, you know, how do you write your music? And I would tell them, well, I don't know how I'm going to write the song. It's the beat that tells me, because I get the vibe and I get the, you know, I get the flow from the beat.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's how I've always been. I've always been very intrigued on getting a particular producer's beat and knowing, like, when I send this final song to them, like, they're going to be like, damn, you did that on my beat.
Yeah.
So that's always been my thing. And then within the time that I've been working on music now, I've slimmed it down to where, like, I have like just 4 or 5 particular producers that I work with now, and I just get my beats from. But I'm still looking on just having a strict, you know, producer for myself, to where, you know, they're making all my beats and just everything. But I haven't, the 4 or 5 producers I work with now, they definitely provide my sound, but they're actually all out of state. All of them are out of state. I get them all via internet and everything, get all my track outs and everything from them. But I haven't met an in-house producer just yet, but that's ideal. And then of course me learning how to make beats. I feel like that's gonna come, you know, later on in my music career, but I'm not as in a rush to, you know, dabble into it yet. So I'd rather just, you know, just make the music.
Nice. Is there a particular type of beat that you prefer over another?
I guess in the YouTube world, if you search for a beat, you're searching by a particular artist you like. So like, like, you know, if you like Nipsey Hussle, then you're gonna search for Nipsey Hussle. If you like Jay-Z, you're gonna search for Jay-Z type beats. So in that particular sense, then I do. I look for J. Cole beats first. J. Cole is my next favorite artist. I relate with him. I relate with his story and just, you know, his growth. He didn't start rapping like right when I started rapping. He's been rapping, but when I started rapping, he was at the beginning of his career, to where, you know, he was, just on the rise. And so it's always great to see his career, first of all, and just to, you know, witness his growth within my time of, you know, growing as an artist as well. So those are the type of beats that I first go to. But then, like, this past year, I know I stressed to 2 of my best friends as far as like me wanting to get different beats, because you get like 3 different requests on being a rapper. You get that one request where, man, you need to make that popping beat, man, you need to make that beat that's in the club. You know, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that because, you know, just everybody wants that Drake hit. You know, everybody just wants it from you, and you know, nobody is like Drake. So you know, it takes time. And then you know, you get other people, they want that hardcore stuff, like I want that real rap, that, you know, that old school, you know, the old school stuff. And then you know, you get people that want that, you know, that singy R&B type, you know, vibe and all that stuff. So, you know, you get like 3 major requests out of it and everything. So it's all different, and it's all preference, I guess. Me personally, my best explanation for a lot of people is like what, you know, Drake doesn't go into the studio and say, hey, you know what, we're gonna make a club record today. Like, he doesn't. And he just released a interview, 2.5 hour interview, where he says, like, when he dropped God's Plan, like, that was not in the plan. Like, funny how I said that, but it wasn't supposed to be the biggest single in his career. Like, he didn't set out to make it that way. He set it out to make. He actually in the interview said like he made the song, it got leaked, and because it was getting such a great response, he was forced to make that second verse like that night and then really release it, because if not, then the song was just gonna, it was gonna blow up, but it wasn't gonna blow up the right way.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was cool to say that, because that's what I explain to people all the time. Like, I don't go to the studio ever to say like I'm gonna make this type of record or nothing. Like, I'm making the music that I feel and that comes out, because at the end of the day, my audience, they like the music that I obviously deliver. And then I know I got to stay true to myself. I gotta, I don't want to try to like bend or try to make something that's with not within my element as of yet, because I know I can. I know I'm very diverse, and I know I'm gonna be able to do a lot of things, but I want to stick to my core, and I want to stick to what I know is best. So this way, it shows it within my music, and it doesn't sound like it's, false. So
when you go into a studio, you don't go into like, do you go in there as a blank slate and just kind of feel the vibe, or do you go, okay, this is like a certain topic I want to talk about today, or I need to write a song about this today, or I'm feeling this, and you go back to your notebook sort of thing? Or I wish I could do that. Me personally, I've been I don't want to say a low budget or anything, but I've always had a job to support the dream and everything, to where I learned to be cost efficient in a sense. Yes.
So me personally, I didn't have a studio access like my first 4 years. It was 2000. No, my first 2 years. My first 2 years in rap. I recorded with that one DJ on the little Radio Shack mic and all that. Then obviously, I realized I need to do better. Stop parting my ways with him respectfully, and just went into a writing process. Went into just writing music. I would go into my back, my back little room at my house at the time, and I would just listen to beats, like so many beats at the time, and I would just make just write the songs and just rehearse them. And I did that, and I recorded a couple house studios and everything, and then I was able to finally meet my best friend Kid, and he was like, I got this studio that we record at and everything. I want you to do this song. He gave me the beat, and asked me to do the song, and I went to the studio, and when he gave me the beat, I was still in that same particular process as far as writing, to where I practiced it to where it was precise when I went to the studio. So ever since that day, that's always my work ethic, as far as like, if I go to the studio, I'm not going to the studio to vibe out, only because I'm not able to get that 8-hour, 16-hour studio session yet to where I could sit in the studio and do that. I definitely dream of it, and it's definitely the goal. But because I'm a father of two, I have to be very cost efficient with my funds. So
and your time.
Exactly. So I got to do what I have to do, to where like tonight I have a studio session. I have a 2-hour studio session. I'm still gonna be able to record 4 songs within that studio because I'm so prepared.
Damn.
And
okay.
I'm a very, very meticulous artist, to where like I know as much as to where like I know the echoes that I want to hear, and I know the ad-libs I'm gonna do, and I know the sound that I really, really want to hear, to where and then I'm very compatible with my engineer. He knows the language that I'm speaking as far as what I want. So it comes out so quick, so smooth, and one of my biggest brags as far as when I'm in the studio with my friends and everything is like they call me One Take Shorty, because I'm gonna record this in one time, one time only, and it's gonna sound good. So, I'm always very, very prepared when I go to the studio, but I definitely I want to have those sessions, especially this year, as far as having that blank slate and, just playing the beat and, making the melody there and everything, because it's a process. I love the process. I'm able to squeeze it in within my family time. But just writing a song is just always so joyful for me, because it's always, just figuring out what you want to say and how you're going to say it and all that. And, just hearing everyone that's making music now, it just makes you more motivated, or at least myself, as far as, making that sound that is going to intrigue your ear and it's going to make you want to really listen. So,
yeah. When you collaborate, is it a little frustrating when somebody might not be as well prepared as you are, or do you like say, hey man, I'm gonna come in, I'm ready to go, you guys need to be the same?
Yeah, it can be. It definitely can. I'm not gonna lie. Just only because of me personally, that's just my work ethic. Like I've been a straight A student like pretty much my whole life, so I've always been on the high expectation ground, you know, as far as like, you know, why aren't you ready? You know, it's like, I don't understand it, but I'm very empathetic at the end of the day. And I do understand everyone has a different schedule, agenda, and, you know, just, motivation within the craft. So I've learned, especially this past year, learned to, you know, use my patience and to use my understanding. And, but at the same time, you know, I think that I rub off to where, in a sense, to where it's going to get you to want to work more and want to do more and, you know, put more effort in, because I'm not going to come, you know, like a immature, you know, person as far as, you know, being mad or saying something unnecessary as far as the situation, you know, as an artist being unprepared. But it's more so like, you know, motivated, like, you know what? You know, it's all good that you don't have half the verse that I expected you to have to record today. It's okay. We're going to figure it out. You know, we're going to make something really good right now. And, you know, so because that energy is everything. Yeah. And if, you know, you give someone negative energy, they're not going to give you nothing productive back. So, I've definitely been through those experiences now. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's why I set up my own studio sessions for me personally. Now it's like, you know, I don't really want to go into a studio session where I'm recording with multiple artists, because I got an agenda already. I got stuff to do, and, you know, I'd rather do it by myself. So, you know, there's really not a time now where I'm in a studio with other artists. It's more so just myself now. Yeah,
so. I was going to ask, do you prefer to be at this point just working by yourself, or is the... But once in a while, you're talking about the synergy. Do you feel good every once in a while to collaborate with somebody just to see how they work and what their energy is like and stuff?
Oh yeah. Like this year, 2019 was my low key year, in a sense, to where I did everything undercover. I got I got a lot of features with a lot of local artists that I was able to squeeze and make happen. And so all those are going to be coming out this year and everything. So to where it's going to show that I've definitely been working with several artists, not just, you know, the two that I have on the recent music video that I released. You know, I've worked with a lot more artists, and I'm going to continue to work with a lot of artists, because there's a lot of really good artists out here. So, you know, I definitely want to show that, because at the end of the day, there's like that particular case that we're talking about, as far as somebody not being prepared, that's like very minimal. Yeah. As far as being in the hip hop scene, because I think coming into it, everybody knows the grounds, as far as like, you either got to be good or you're not. Yeah. Like, period. So most of the people that at least I've encountered and worked with, like, they have that same sense, to where I got to come with my end game. Not because they're working with me, but it's because we're in this industry to where you have to be good. It's not because, you know, granted, there are those cases where there's, you know, some artists that are really, really big, and I don't want to say they're not that good, but
I think we know who we're talking about.
Exactly. So, so, you know, it's like that standard, you know, so, and I think everyone I've worked with, they definitely motivated me to get better.
And I think you guys are basically in the same boat too, where you have to be efficient with your time and your money. Right. And you just can't be fucking around pretending you're Jay-Z in the studio that you own.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
How did the last video or the last song that you released, how did that one come about? Overall, from what was the thought process like in the beginning, though?
I found the beat and automatically wrote this verse. Wrote the verse to it, and it was great. Like, I was very, very impressed by the beat and the verse, and I knew it was going to be a good record. But I also knew that I can't sing. So I was like, man, if only I had a singer on this song, like, it would just, like, it would be exponentially just way better. And fortunately, my fiance and her best friend, they're best friends, so they talk to each other all the time. While her baby's father is a singer, is the artist that is on the song Prince, and so they both suggested that we should actually just work together because, you know, he obviously is pursuing the same type of dream I am. And so one Sunday barbecue, we showed up at the house and, you know, met him and good vibes, good energy. And so he had a little home studio, went back and, you know, he started showing me some of his records, which were really, really great. And I started trading records too, and then finally started bringing up some beats because, you know, every artist has beats, and brought that beat up to him. And I was like, man, like I really, really need a singer on this song. So he heard it, and he gave it that look, like a mean look, like he was thinking real hard. So I was like, and he was like, man, you know what? Give me tonight, and I'll send you a hook tomorrow. And he sent me the hook the next day, and I just remember, because I'm a driver, and I just remember pulling over and just like being so excited because this hook was just really, really good. It was just it was like a sample out of from Aaliyah, the One in a Million, and it was great. It was just great. It was just great. So I just knew that it was just gonna be a really, really good record.
Nice.
And then you know, it always comes up to where, okay, it's time to write a second verse. Me personally, I could write a first verse really, really good and very fast because I feel like I gotta, like, right away, I gotta pull you in and I gotta give you these bars that are gonna make you, man, this is a really, really good verse. And then writing that second verse is always difficult for me because you gotta top that first verse. So I was at a little writer's block, you could say, and then my fiance was like, what if you added another artist to the song? And I was like, well, what are you thinking? And she's like, well, what if you add a girl artist to the song? And I was like, wow, that is a great fucking idea. And she actually was following K Marie and was a fan of her, just of her work and everything, because she was a female rapper, talked about a woman empowerment, and she was from South Phoenix, which we were all from. So she suggested her to me, and I automatically just reached out, sent her the beat, and she vibed with it automatically. Within a week time, she sent me her verse, and yeah, it was just beautiful. I set up the studio session. Then we just, you know, we all recorded our stuff, put it all together, made a really good record, and I dropped the actual record on my birthday. And then we recorded the video with like 3 weeks after that.
Nice.
And then took our time as far as getting it released. We could have got it released before the end of the year, but I definitely felt like it would have been a good first quarter start to drop it at the beginning. And I really emphasized to my cameraman to take his time because it was 3 different personalities that he had in the video, and how we shot it. We shot it to where it was 3 different, you know, stories. So it was really cool because we did a duality as far as the male and the female side of things, and then we had you know, we had Prince singing that beautiful hook at the same time. So it was the song itself got a great response, and then the video we definitely knew was gonna get a greater response, and it's definitely been out for like 4 days, about like almost 600 views. And because of the artist that I am, that is very, very big for me. You know, just to know that 600, you know, people, I don't want to say 600, you know, different people saw the video, but just to get 600 views period, is definitely something that's amazing for me. I think within the first day it was like at 200 and something. And me, my goal from day one was always like, if I can get 100 views in a day, like that is like major for me. So I'm very humbled as an artist, and I don't want to ever make my head bigger than what it is. So I'm not going to be like, you know, expect 1,000 views within a day or anything like that, because I do know that, you know, you have to market it right, push it out right, promote it right. So I'm, you know, I'm in the midst of, you know, still spreading it out. I'm trying to figure out some blogs that I could send it to, and then, you know, just get that proper promotion and that proper exposure to where, you know, our vision could definitely get seen, as well as, you know, our song. So
hell yeah,
excited for it, you know.
Hey, good things happen at barbecues.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, no, you're really right. You're really right. So super excited, man.
Now, is it right now just a single? Thing? Do you have plans to write more, make an album out of it, or
not that particular song? That song was gonna be just a standalone song by itself. You know what I mean? Because it was just like a why not type song in a sense. And I released the album prior to releasing that song. It was like in July where I released the actual 7-song EP. So I just wanted something fresh. I just wanted to be consistent, and I just wanted to give my fans something that they really could like. So I just dropped the song all by itself. It was never planned on a project or anything. And then So yeah, I was really happy for it because I'm trying to do the same thing this year as well. Like just drop particular singles and a video for them and making them their own projects. Because, just to give it more attention. When dropping albums, if you ever do studies on it or anything, first 3 or 4 songs get played the most. After that, not that many people listen after that. So why not drop 4-song APs or singles to where they get the exposure that they deserve, and you just keep dropping.
Yeah. I feel like in albums nowadays, really have to have a sort of, they have to tell like some sort of story from front to end. They really do have to be more. It just can't be songs anymore because nobody's buying albums, seems like, anymore.
Yeah. No,
it's all singles or just one song off the album at a time. And there's an album that I just heard that is exactly that. It's from front to end, and it's only like 10 songs, but it's like they're all going into one and into the other, and then you just don't get people's instinctive travels in the paths of rhythm as much as you used to anymore. So it's just kind of like I can totally see now I just more value to just a single. But you seem to definitely have a big educational background. Is there something like a concept album that you might be thinking of later on, as far as like, there's very few hip hop concept albums out there. Predator, for me, Ice Cube is what pops immediately into my head right now for some reason. But
yeah, I know what you mean.
Is there anything out there that you would like to expand on as far as like writing, or I need to write a saga, or maybe even a hip hop mini opera or something like that?
Yeah, no, I definitely been looking into making like different type of projects that correlate with each other. Like, for instance, I dropped that my album is called Michael, which is my actual name, and then so then I just had my son, my 1-year-old now, and his name is Michael Cole. So I have these album series that I'm planning on dropping this year called Cold World, where kind of correlates within the mind of raising him, and then the mind of that I think he has as far as looking at life and everything. So definitely want to do that. And then as far as making like making anything different, I'm all for it. I just got to meet the right people and everything as far as to make like some type of I don't know, some type of story type album, or just some type of just album with a theme and everything. Definitely all for it and everything. Because really I just want to expand as far as being an artist. I don't want to just be into like one particular genre, as far as I don't want to say just hip hop itself, but just being an actual artist. So I want to do that. I've always planned on even writing a book, writing some type of screenplay, or even writing a movie. So writing music within that same correlation would be really awesome. One of my big goals this year is definitely to try to make a record to where I can get on a game. I can get on like an NBA 2K.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to something like that, or you definitely a movie, Netflix movie, or even an independent film. So that's definitely a goal this year. So this way I can step out of my norm as far as just making just making my own type of lane music. So
without trying to sound like asking the really obvious question, as far as your state of mind and coming up with rhymes and bars, how different, or how much of a different angle that having a son come to the life change how you rap, how you your whole hip hop world at all, aside obviously from your personal reasons? Did it make as huge impact as you thought it would? Did it change you a lot or a little bit?
It made I think it made the best impact ever. I always wrote prior to having kids like that I was gonna have kids. I'm my only child, so having a big family was definitely a goal of mine.
Okay.
I think it was like when I was 12 years old when I finally figured out that I wasn't gonna have siblings. And I'm from a very, very, very big family, so a lot of my cousins I grew up with had multiple siblings, and I definitely could see those relationships and everything, and want it. But when finally realizing you ain't gonna have it, it was a little gut check at the time. I was only 12, but I I knew I was gonna have family. Like, I'm gonna have my own family. So when I started to rap and everything, I always rapped like, I was gonna have a family and everything. And then when I finally did, it definitely gave me a lot more reason in my passion as far as, why I'm making my songs, and a lot more purpose as far as what I was saying. Especially within being a father and everything, because fatherhood is something I take a lot of pride in. So it changed me for the better, and I definitely made my music a lot more conceptual, to where the fan itself was able to just relate to it, because a lot just parenthood within itself is so relatable. And then for two reasons, either because you're a parent or because you've had parents. So however people can take my music now, they could take it for the better, but at least they can, relate to it within their lives, and, within their past, and, so it can really hit home and everything. So yeah, I'm very fortunate to have my two boys now, because it's made my music the most purest that it can possibly be. So, it's definitely getting heard that way.
In that sense, are there songs that you just write for yourself, to where you don't share them? These are just mine. I keep them for me.
Man, wow, that's a good question. I don't, and I guess they've been unplanned, because I've never planned to do it, and I've never realized that I've done it until you've asked that question. But yeah, I've actually, because I do have a home studio as well. So when I do record at home, sometimes I've recorded with my oldest, Mason, and I actually have a few songs where the other day they came on my iPod, and you could hear my 7-year-old. He was like 4 or 3 at the time, and you can hear him saying like, "You ready?" The high pitched voice and everything, and I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead, record," but it was already recording. But he didn't know any better, so just it was really cool to look back at that, because I still don't plan on releasing that song. I feel like it's old and in the past, so I don't think it's ready to ever be exposed. But I love to play it for him, because he always tells me to play it, and he knows it word for word, because he was a part of the process and everything.
Yeah.
And, his love for music obviously is just like always a joy to see, because obviously of mine. So it's real cool, because I never planned on making music to where I could hold just for them, but now that you asked, I've actually had, and I'm probably gonna keep doing that, just because I'm an artist. I have to make music every day, so I'm always gonna make songs, and I'm always gonna make songs that are sometimes not just ever gonna be heard, and it's just how this form of art goes. So
yeah.
It's really cool now that you actually asked that question, because I do have music like that
nice.
Only they have, and only they're gonna have. Actually, he got an MP3 player for Christmas.
Oh, and, nice.
He actually has music on his MP3 that is new music that nobody has heard yet.
Okay.
So he went to California, and with his family, and he was able to listen to like new stuff that I know nobody has heard of yet. And so it was really cool, because I like telling my fiance that too, like, man, he has all my exclusive stuff. Like,
yeah,
if he loses that MP3 in Cali,
it's gone forever.
Somebody might make a record.
Oh yeah,
somebody might get some stuff out for me, man. So yeah, I love it.
Where the Proph, where did that moniker come from? Where did alter ego come from?
So I was 18 years old when I started to rap. It was me and my friend Nick, and we were at ASU, so we were at the Computer Commons. We went to the Computer Commons, and rapgenerator.com. That's what created the Young Prophecy.
Okay.
You answered a few questions, everything, and it generated that. So when I first started, and when I had a MySpace music page, it was The Young Prophecy. It was DAYNG Prophecy. Then I cut the Young off, and it was just Prophecy. And I went on Prophecy for like a couple years, and then when I met my best friend Kid, he respected Prophecy. He never met me and was like, "Yo, you need to change your name." But every time he called me or talked to me or just referenced me, it was always his Proph. It was always his Proph. It was always a Proph. 2 songs I made prior to meeting Kid, I was like, it's Young Prophecy, for short, call me Propho. So like, I was kind of manifesting it without even knowing it, and then it wasn't until he started to just call me that every day. I actually became roommates with him, so it was just a continuous Proph, and then finally I was like, man, I'm gonna call myself Proph. I like that. It sounds more unique than expected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people would hear, ask me, what's your rap name? I'm Prophecy. It was like almost like, oh, okay, yeah. That's like expected, but okay, cool. Prophecy, so yeah, I changed it to Proph, dropped it, and stuck to that. I actually tried to change it one time, and I remember the response when I mentioned it was definitely the response I needed. We were in the studio, and I was thinking real hard prior to this, but I didn't tell nobody on it. Then I had my best friend and my fiance in there, and I was like, I think I'm gonna change my rap name. And they just looked at me like, the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, I think I'm just going to go by Michael, just like my government name. So like, because why not, And they're like, no. And like, they just like gave me all these reasons why I'm not supposed to change my name. And I was just like, okay. And, so it was Proph, and it's going to be Proph, and that's how they're going to know me. So.
Nice. I was just talking to you now. I was going to make a guess as to how it came off because with your love of school and education, I thought it was just going to be a play off The Professor.
No, yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah. But no, man, it's fucking...
Yeah, and it was crazy. What's even more funny is the DJ that I met, that I started recording the music with first, it was DJ Philosophy. So it was Philosophy and Prophecy.
Wow.
It was stupid.
Epic.
It was funny, man. It was epic. Yeah, it's a great memory now. So, but yeah, I'm fortunate that it went down to the Proph. Yeah, and it's definitely it's created its own image and its own his own name. So I definitely love it. You know what I mean? Because I still have cousins that obviously know me for me, but will definitely see me now and reference me as Proph instead of just Mike. How they used to call me. So it's real cool.
What is in the immediate future? Do you have any shows or projects planned coming up?
Yeah, I got some projects that I plan on dropping out. I'm actually going to the studio tonight to finish because all of 2019, my goal for 2019 was to record at least once a month in the studio. Okay. I was able to accomplish that and then some. So within that time, I accumulated a good 17 songs that I don't really know what I'm gonna do with, in a sense. I do know, but I don't. So, after thinking over the new year and everything, I know that I'm able to make some really solid projects out of them or some EPs and everything. And then, just with, how I have the beats as far as like numerous beats from one particular producer, it's really smart as far as marketing wise and dropping an EP dedicated just to a producer now. So like basically my plan now is to drop like Cold World Part 1. Okay. It was gonna be called, and then it's gonna be like 4 songs, but it's gonna be all by one producer instead of multiple producers. So this way on the front cover of the actual Cold World, I could say executive produced by, whatever, producer that's producing it. So this way it gives them the credit that they definitely deserve. Oh, yeah. And then, it strengthens our relationship because I definitely have given my producer, heads up on it. And, it just shows that, I'm working because, with the accumulated amount of songs that I have and the new songs that I've been working on, I just want to stay consistent this year. I want to give a lot of music. I want to focus my attention like on particular songs or particular stuff, to promote it and give it the exposure it deserves. But at the same time, I want to keep dropping music. That's the goal this year. So, I just got to balance it. I got to figure out how to balance it right to where everything gets its proper exposure and, it's promoted to where, they expect it. And, but, I'm still going to drop those, those bombs every now and then to where I'm not even going to say nothing and just, hey, new song out now, check it out. So I'm definitely trying to make that the goal this year. So show wise, I guess I want to get a bigger project out before I create an actual show for myself. But I'm definitely interested in jumping on a couple local shows that are going to be coming up soon. I do know the people that are handling the shows, booking agents and everything, so I can hit them up and see what type of slots are open, time frames, and stuff like that. So I'm planning. I haven't planned any shows in concrete just yet, but I definitely am gonna do a lot of shows this year. But I think my big focus is videos. I want to drop videos this year, so like I'm gonna do another video within a week or two, and then hopefully I could record one within another 2-week time to where I'm have my cameraman working on at least 2 videos, and then again stack up on some more music, release some more music out, and just keep it fresh every month.
Hell yeah. Where can people find you, man?
Man, I'm on This is Proph. This is Proph for everything social media. Instagram, this is Proph. Social media, Facebook, this is Proph. Twitter, this is Proph. Snapchat, this is Proph. Anything, this is / this is Proph. You're gonna find me. I'm also on every major platform as well, as from Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Geezer, Amazon Music, anything that you listen to music on, I'm available on there. Just search me, Proph, and you'll be able to find all my music. I was fortunate to have a catalog already prior to getting it to the part where I had a little distribution deal to where I'm able to release music. So I dropped those already, but a lot of new music has yet to come out yet. So I just had that one project out, then a few singles. This year I definitely plan on filling up those playlists so where there's Proph and everything. So
yeah, man, I can sit here and I think I'd like to have you back because we really got to dig deep, and I'd like to pick your brain on more hip hop and stuff like that. But we'll probably be here all freaking night, man. I'm sorry.
Sure.
But thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
I fucking really appreciate this, man.
Yeah.
And again, I hope you come back again, and
most definitely.
Get a little deeper on.
Yeah, we can talk about whatever else too, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Down talk about whatever, because again, I've seen how broad podcasting can be to where you can have a hip hop podcast and talk about some real life shit, So,
and that's I think that's definitely something that I really want to dig into next time I come around, man. Because
most definitely.
I'm already like, dude, we can be here all freaking night sort of thing. Yeah. But yeah, please come back, man.
All right, man. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Sure, man. Thank you again.
All right, man. Everybody say bye.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Proph. If you have any questions or concerns, please drop us a line at thecommonrule@gmail.com. The website and blog is thecommonrule.com. Twitter is Restless Samurai, and Instagram is The Common Rule. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day and enjoy your youth.